99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Dailies today, the second part. I am Sheriff Quadry. It's a Monday morning. That's right. July 8th, 2024. Now you can watch us online, Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can be a part of this show on Facebook and on YouTube. I have got the papers here for you. I have the Vanguard newspaper. Daily Trust is also here, The Nation and The Guardian. Let's start with The Guardian newspaper, shall we? Let's do that. On page 6 of The Guardian newspaper, revenue expenditure mismatch. States may sack 600,000 employees to implement minimum wage. Revenue expenditure mismatch. States may sack 600,000 employees to implement minimum wage. And they have these details on the front page here. If you're watching, let me quickly show you here. Total IGRs of states 2018, 1.1 trillion naira. 2019, 1.56 trillion naira. 2020, 1.21 trillion naira. 2021, 1.6 trillion naira. 2022, 1.8 trillion naira. And you can understand why the IGR of states dropped in 2020, no thanks to COVID. States with highest personnel cost to revenue ratio. Kano is leading with 41%, Imo 37.6%, Adamawa 37.3%, Taraba 37.2%, Ogun 35.6%. States with lowest personnel cost to revenue ratio. Akwa Ibom 15.6%, Ebonyi 16.4%, Bayelsa 16.4%, Lagos 16.6%, and Anambra 17.6%. Okay, there's no excuse for Kano to be on this list of states with highest personnel cost to revenue ratio. Kano is also a metropolitan city, a metropolitan state. They should have higher revenue drive than what they currently do have right now. And they should not do party government, putting their people in government when they are not doing anything. That essentially is responsible for the highest expenditure to or personnel costs to revenue in the northern part of the country. People that are not working, they're in the local government, they're in the state government service, the civil service at the state and the local government level, and they're not doing anything. They probably need to rethink what governance is in the northern part of the country, really. They probably need to rethink that. Let's go to another story here in the Guardian newspaper. I have this one that says NLC insists on 250,000 naira, vows to reject FG's 62,000 naira minimum wage. That story is on page 5. NLC insists on 250,000 naira, vows to reject FG's 62,000 naira minimum wage. Page 5 of the paper is where you'd get that story. Petrol scarcity lingers in Abuja, queues resurface in states. Page 3. I don't think queues left in the first place. I don't think so, because I see queues regularly. I've been seeing queues for months now on a regular basis. You know, we have one filling station close by our office here. I always see queues there. Look, what is going on? I mean, if you claim that you've deregulated the area, the space, if you claim that we're no more paying subsidy, why do we still have queues? Why? And I don't think the queues will go away anytime soon because there's not enough transparency in that sector, really. Even government is not being transparent with how they manage the oil sector. Nothing is transparent. Nothing. Let me drop the Guardian. Guardian is full with really interesting stories this morning. If you open up the inside pages, you get more stories in the Guardian newspaper. I'll come to the telephone lines in a couple of minutes to come take your thoughts on the stories that we have for you in the papers today, on Dailies today. Shall we start with the Guardian right away? So here we go with the banner story in the Guardian newspaper. What an interesting banner headline on a Monday morning. Brewing industry choking over high cost of raw materials. Brewing industry choking over high cost of raw materials. The riders Expenses rise 113% to 188 billion naira. Importation alternative stifled by high exchange rates. Top brewers borrow 812 billion naira to survive. Loan repayment cost rises 191%. Losses escalate by 1,034%. This is typical of all stories, the stories of all companies in Nigeria at this point in time. This is what companies are going through. All of this is what companies are going through right now. Trying to survive, trying to stay afloat, existential threat. Unfortunately, that's our story. On page 10, court orders ex-minister to account for 729 billion naira. That story is on page 10. Court orders ex-minister to account for 729 billion naira. Page 10. We have to go and take a look at this story. Let's go to page 10 to go and take a look at it. It's an interesting story. I saw the story yesterday. So here we go. With this story here, it says a federal high court sitting in Lagos has ordered former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Ms. Sadia Umar Farouk, to account for payment of 729 billion naira to 24.3 million poor Nigerians for 6 months. The court also ordered the former minister to provide the list and details of the beneficiaries who received the payment, the number of states covered, and the payment per state. All right, we'll see how far this will go because as far as some analysts are concerned, Buhari's ministers are about the very worst in the history of this country. What they perpetrated under Buhari, the level of malfeasance, the level of corruption, the level of theft that was perpetrated under the watch of President, because the box also at its table, right? Under the watch of President Buhari was deserved to be given Guinness World Book of Record award, really, honestly speaking. But the thing is, these are members of the same party, right? We want to know the extent to which this can go. We want to know how far this can go. Remember Hadi Sirika, the $1 billion logo design? Aha. He's currently in court with his brother. That's also a minister under Buhari. And you have them like that. Once they get to their... Once they open the book to their page, they will know exactly what they have done while in office. But this is really sad. It's really, really, really sad. If you're stealing all of this money, if you have stolen all of this money, all of it, how has that impacted the people of your region, the people of your state, the people of your local government? Or is it just about you and your family? It's always been about Nigerian politicians' reason of stealing. It's always been about themselves. I mean, how callous can anyone be? You see people suffering, you could see them. And that doesn't disturb you. You are unperturbed. You can't be bothered. Again, power resides with the people. When the people are ready, they know what to do. Let's take another story here from page 8. Insecurity Tinubu tasks ECOWAS member states on financial commitment. That story is on page 8. Insecurity Tinubu tasks ECOWAS member states on financial commitment. Page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Why CBN insists on another recapitalization. Cardoso is trying to explain to you. The story is on page 5. If you like to read, please go ahead and read further this morning. Okay, right. Let's drop the Vanguard right now. I've got about 2 more minutes to take stories before I come to the telephone lines. Right. Why fuel queues persist, spread by marketers. Why fuel queues persist, spread by marketers. A pump price hits 800 naira in Kano. Others, black marketers sell at over 1,000 naira. Story is on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. You can read further on page 4, by the way. Page 4 of the paper. FG exempts Gencos, Discos, others from withholding tax. FG exempts Gencos, Discos, others from withholding tax. Page 40 is where you'd get that. I still do not understand. I will speak with Aditayo during the course of the week on Hard Facts. I'm on Hard Facts today. I will speak with him as to the reason behind this move, because Gencos and Discos haven't been sincere in their own operations themselves. Go and ask people that even have prepaid meter, people that don't have prepaid meter, people that have faulty prepaid meter. The monster of estimated billing, what it is doing to Nigerian businesses, the increase in electricity tariff, all of these things. Please tell me whether, Discos and Gencos and whatever cause that is in the electricity sector. I mean, that's another sector that needs thorough sanitization. I mean, you bleach the corruption from that sector. You need bleach. I mean, you need, that's how bad corruption is in the power sector. Horrible, horrible monster. We'll have that conversation on Hard Facts during the course of the week. Trust me on that one. Let's go take another story in the Daily Trust newspaper. Tinubu re-elected as chairman of ECOWAS. Tinubu re-elected as chairman of ECOWAS. That's also here on page 5 of the Trust newspaper for you today. All the papers are full today because it's somebody's birthday. Do you know who that person's birthday or who that person is? Okay. That's not our concern. No, it's not now. Let's take one or two stories before we go and take some your calls this morning. So we have this one here. Plateau APC moves to reclaim power in 2027. It's a story on page 25 of the Daily Trust newspaper for you today. So let me drop the paper and come. Okay, let's take this third one. This story trended over the weekend, all through the weekend. Missing UNN female student found dead. She was found on campus. It's quite unfortunate. It's on page 16. If you like to read further, you can pick it up. Daily Trust. We're going to drop the paper now. Let's come take your thoughts now. You've got 60 seconds to share your thought. I will be timing you. 60 seconds to share your thought. 277-0993, 277-1993, 277-2993, and 277-3993 to share your thought with me. Please, before you calling, start with the code 0201. That's the code to calling all of those numbers. Start with that code 0201 before you call the numbers, all right? WhatsApp is 0809-597-5805 on WhatsApp. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Please, if you comment, I'll come and take them, all right? Good morning to you. Good morning, Babanla. Karo, sir.
Engineer Christian Ogozelo from Ezibo.
You're welcome.
My take this morning is on this disaster management minister, former one, Sadia Omar Farouk.
Yes.
Sharif.
Go on. We're listening to you.
You had her name. You had the ministry she's presiding, disaster management. And that woman herself was a total disaster in Nigeria. Total, complete disaster. Sheriff, as I am now, I can't even pay one of my children's school fees. So she's teaching for exam today. And if I can't pay for that exam fee, she won't be allowed to go to the next class.
Oh.
Because of 40,000 naira. For somebody sitting in an office, an elected office, stole billions. A woman, for that matter, stole billions upon billions under Mr. Integrity. And we are just playing around with it. I'm asking Nigerians, anybody that can help me should help me. Mr. Tadi, politics of honor, beg. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. God bless.
Thank you, too, for calling me. Appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Is it not the same minister that said that during lockdown, he was still feeding
yes.
children at home?
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff, are you surprised? Nothing will come out of it. Is it not that Buhari regime that one person said that slaves swallow some money? Till today, I will find the slate. Or have the person been tried to court? What has come out of it? See, this is APC in the highest court. You said it all. They say they are coming to fight corruption. But for me, they just come to increase corruption. They have come to increase corruption and take Nigeria to poverty level. The low poverty level. I bought bread on Saturday, 1,002. Yesterday, I want to buy the same bread. It has increased to 1,003. They have added another 100 naira to it. The same country we have, somebody, 720 billion, not million. Now, they are in billion. Very soon, they will target trillion. We are in for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for calling. And just for clarity's sake, the person that says snakes swallow money was working for NECO, I think. Yeah, I think so. Because according to her, snakes swallowed or eating about 36 million naira. She was a clerk of the Nigeria Examination Board. Yes, she not NECO now, Examination Board. Yeah, pardon me for that. So I just wanted to clarify so it doesn't look like it was a minister that said so, because he first referred to a minister before he now went to the illustration of a clerk's line. Good morning to you. Yes, please. Good morning.
It's not NECO, it's JAMB.
It's JAMB, Babi. Oh, it's JAMB. Okay. Thank you.
Swallow 36 for him. You see this humanitarian ministry,
right?
One ministry, I pray. Look, Tinubu, don't resuscitate that ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Don't resuscitate it, because to me, it looks like a ministry of fraud. The money they give them is unaccountable. For the 4 years that Farouk Shadia was there, I've never had anybody in Ifakojaye that said, "Oh, this is it." They gave me so money. Don't resuscitate it, except you have interest in it. If you want to give, if you don't have work for better do is a medical doctor. You should go and work in Cross River, or bring that to look here to come and work for us. He's a doctor. Money.
Morning to you too. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's actually JAMB. Madam Ifus, correct. Thank you for the correction. Uche is calling us. Uche, how you doing? Yeah, it's
Sheriff Baba.
Uche, how you doing? Good morning to you. For the correction. Uche is
Good morning. How you doing, my brother?
I do. Just give me a moment. Uche, please hold on. Give me a moment. Let me tidy up a few things here. I need to quickly tidy up some stuff here in the studio. There's so many. Okay, Uche, you can go on now.
Okay. I was listening to you when you were talking about the former president Buhari and his inefficiency and the kind of corruption that occurred with his ministers and all that. Sheriff, you remember even when I was still in Nigeria, I kept talking about the incompetence of Mr. Buhari. Look, Sheriff, I still maintain the worst thing that can ever happen to any country happened, as Buhari. Sheriff, you see, when we say these things, a lot of people probably don't understand. Now, ask yourself, the kind of support you got from even the West. Now, ask yourself, a person of that nature, I'm not trying to be insultive, but let's just face it, we're just facing reality. Can he even qualify to head a county? We all had election. We had election recently here in the UK.
That's right.
Is Buhari even qualified to handle a county here in the UK? The answer is no. But he was given all the support by the West. Why? Because they, like Uncle Jimmy would say, it's a competitive world. The West would rather have Nigeria being ruled by incompetent, clueless people so that they will always maintain the advantage. And when we say these things, people don't understand. You see the story you are talking about Buhari now. I bet you, when this current president leaves office, we will sing the same story. Thank you. And next one.
That's deep. Thank you, Uche, for calling me. Let's see. Kano is calling us. Mr. Kano, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Sherry.
Yes,
good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's very unfortunate and saddening to get the stories you just told us this morning. The picture is very gloomy. How can somebody spend so much money without having anything to show for it? And at the end of the day, what pains me so much is, what are you doing with all these funds? And Nigerians should learn the history of death so that they'll be able to know that there is nothing you have on earth that will last forever. If you live 90 years or 100, those monies, what are you be doing with it? What of developing the system for everybody to be part of it, to enjoy life? 720 billion. That if you are eating 50,000 on daily basis, 1 billion now you're going to spend it for 50 years. What do we need all those monies for?
Right.
How can you develop the nation with this type of unnecessary materialism? It is very painful.
Thank you.
Let me tell you one thing.
Thank
What sort of a leader will his lieutenant spend such money without his having interest in it?
Thank you. Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. I'm sorry. This alarm is your clock. It won't allow me to hear you anymore. Well, thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. Okay, appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Since we're talking about corruption, ICPC intercepts 10 billion naira of COVID fund in MDA account, 100 million naira in personal coffer. Riders recovers 36 million naira from 6 teaching hospitals. Budget code demand comprehensive report. This story is tucked in page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. It's a front page material, to be honest with you. Reports from the monitoring of the $3.4 billion from International Monetary Fund IMF for COVID-19 response credited to the account domiciled at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, indicates that the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, discovered about 10 billion naira meant for development of vaccines in a ministry's account long after the pandemic. The ICPC had set up teams to track disbursement of COVID-19 intervention fund received by about 9 ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, of government from the point of disbursement to utilization. According to the immediate past chairman of the ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owad-Soye, SAN, the team was put in place because the commission observed discrepancies in the procurement and payments made by some MDAs after the disbursement of the COVID-19 fund. Investigation by The Guardian revealed that in the same ministry, over 100 million naira was approved as welfare package for workers and paid from COVID-19 intervention fund. The findings also show that over 100 million naira was budgeted for Wi-Fi and sent to an employee's account, personal account. 100 million naira for Wi-Fi. For my post-COVID-19 vaccine, you know. Oh, my word, what a country. Let me go back to telephone lines, right? All right, let's see. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Good
Sheriff
morning.
Quadry.
Yes, please.
Good to hear your voice again. How was the weekend?
It was good, thank you.
Mecca is my name from Spotlight Town.
Let's talk.
Oh, you see, I'm not surprised the kind of news that comes out of this country. Until we come up with some piece of legislation that will provide for death penalty for corrupt government public office holders, it will not stop. Because these stories are there today. Look at the one of former Minister of Humanitarian Disaster. Look at the one you're reading out now of COVID funds and the rest of them. Look at the one that snake swallowed money and all that. Nothing comes out of it. It becomes, let's say it is more of a deja vu. Nothing will happen until some piece of legislation that will provide for death penalty for corrupt officers. And for governors who are threatening to sack 600,000 workers so that they will be able to meet up with the minimum wage. I don't think they're smelling the coffee. I think they're pushing Nigerians beyond the elastic limit. And after elastic limit, they will get to the yielding point. After yielding point, that elastic will cut. I don't think they're smelling the coffee. In the midst of poverty, suffering, you are threatening to sack 600,000 more people that you can because if they exist of 52,000 minimum wage, which is not even realistic.
Thank you, Emeka.
I better smell the coffee. Nigeria are not going to be held down for too long.
Right. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Olumuyiwa.
Let's talk.
Okay. as our politicians are looting our life, we are busy laughing. God go joy them. God go joy them. God go joy them. And those that gave us the Bible, we see the way they were fighting. Mr. Sheriff, when the humanitarian woman was collecting 500 billion every month for 8 years, do you think that money cannot make us buy a liter of fuel for just 10 naira per liter? Good morning.
Morning to you too, Olumiwa. Thanks for calling me. Let me jump on this call here on Skype. Good morning to you.
Hello, Mr. Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Big Sheriff. How was your weekend?
Good, thank you.
Yeah. My name is Femi.
Let's talk.
Yeah. So, with regards to the corruption of Emerson Wani COVID vaccine,
post-vaccine,
Twitter,
you know,
as in it just shows how wicked and inhumane we are to ourselves. And one thing I tend to always disagree with people is that for every situation we keep talking about the West, how about we talking about the problem we've created ourselves? I'm a student of history. Walter Rodney wrote about how Europe underdeveloped Africa, but it has come to the point where we need to start discussing how Africans have underdeveloped Africa, how we have made our people poor and impoverished them. Okay, look at it. Somebody stole this amount of money. What do you need the money for? What do you need them for exactly? And I think the problem with a lot of us as Nigerians is that a lot of us are awake in darkness, and the rest of us are asleep in the light. God bless Nigeria, and God bless all of us.
Femi, thank you for calling me from the UK. Appreciate your time. Okay, thank you. It's 7:58. Let's see if we can take. We just have to take some messages on the show. Yeah, but let me see if I can squeeze in a couple messages this morning. Here we go. Institutional failure is looming everywhere. Corruption and nepotism, viewing the despicable, prevaricative action of our so-called leaders. One begins to feel sorry for the centrifugal nation called Nigeria. Emmanuel from Ogun State said that. Emmanuel, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Really do appreciate it. On the court ordering the minister, I think the judiciary is the biggest problem we have in Nigeria. Has anyone been arrested for electoral malpractice? Where is the EFCC? The minister should have been arrested, just like Emefiele. Politicians are jokers. That's a generally from my job who dropped out. Generally, thank you for sharing your thought. And Chuk says, I get worried when I hear some newspaper headlines. We don't know yet what amount will be the minimum wage, but the Guardian is already talking of the number of workers states will disengage. That's Chuks in Ikorodu. Sent that in. Chuks, thank you for sharing your thought. That's about the size of the update this time. Okay, Kofi is next on the morning crossfire. Don't forget that I will be on Hard Facts today, so join me as we take you through the big stories of the day. All right, stay here on Nigeria Info 99.3. By the way, Nigeria Info has a video of Peter Rufai talking to people on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. Check us out, Nigeria Info 99.3. Go check the video and drop a comment. Stay here. Kofi on the morning crossfire is next.
Nigeria Info,
the hub for information,
current affairs, and more.
The president used his last Democracy Day address to talk about several issues, including security.
It is this same government that they started it. They don't obey court order.
Join the conversation
right here.
Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.